go to the circus, and her favorite part was the girl on the flying trapeze, who flew through the air 100 feet above the ground. Patty did not become the girl on the flying trapeze. She does fly, but at 7,500 feet above the ground.
The feeling of free fall can be compared with nothing else. It's the most beautiful feeling in the world. It's like thousands of tiny fingers caressing your entire body. Relative work is what you do in relation to another person in free fall. Linking up, hooking up together, and doing things together with 2 or more people. That's relative work. I'm really into star building. A star would be, let's say, for instance, with my team, a group of 10 people joined in a circle holding hands. It takes a certain kind of person to skydive. I think most of all it takes someone who has a very adventurous spirit. I'll be interested in knowing.
During the week, Patty teaches skydiving at the Elsinore Paracenter, the world's largest facility of its kind in the United States.
Teach you how to fly, how to truly fly. This is the only sport that I know of that you can fly and be completely free, because there's nothing to keep you in control except your own body, your own wings. Okay, Bruce, let's see it. Okay, you're going to need more tension in your legs. You let your legs really get... I love to teach other people to skydive. It's a real turn-on. You know, when you find something that gives you a great deal of joy and pleasure, it's natural to want to pass that on to someone else. And so for me, it's just really satisfying an appetite that I have, wanting to turn the world on to skydiving. First jump students have to make a static line jump. You know, it's a state law that we must make 5 static line jumps. Okay. A static line is where there's a line attached to you, your ripcord, and the other half of it is attached to the frame of the airplane. Women have been skydiving since 1912, and a very grand lady by the name of Tiny Broadwick started the whole thing. Tiny was the first person to free fall. Imagine the courage that took.
We didn't think about courage in those days. We just thought about what we wanted to do and tried to make it come to pass. In 1908, my father, my mother take me to see this carnival in Raleigh, North Carolina. And it was the Johnny J. Jones's carnival. And this balloon was performing there. I saw that go up. And so when he came back, I told him I'd like to go up in that balloon. He looked at me and shook his head. He says, "You're too little," he says, "to go up in that balloon." I said, "Well, I do climb trees, and I get along with that all right." And he laughed, and I had a wonderful jump the first time. I was up high, and it was that peace and quietness that you felt just so close to God that I have never lost that feeling. And I do know that I'm in God's care because I've lived to be 82 now. I met Glenn Martin in 1912 at Dominguez Air Meet out there. And I was there with a hot air balloon, and that's how we got acquainted. That is how we worked up the idea when I said to him, "Let me drop off of the plane." He shook his head. He says, "It can't be done." I said, "Well, think about it and we'll talk about it." And sure enough, he did. And we finally rigged up this seat with a parachute, and when I was ready to go, I just pulled the lever, and down I went. When I tell them that I think I want to jump again, they still think I'm crazy. I think it's the most wonderful thing that could ever happen to think that the women can get out there and do what they do in the air. My hat is off to them. I think they're wonderful. I certainly wish I could join them on some of those days that they come down so beautiful. I feel that they're enjoying it as much as I did in my young days.
Patty organized the first all-women skydiving team at Casa Grande, Arizona, where they successfully formed a 16-woman star.
Want the camera rolling the whole time.
Okay, the only thing I don't know about is doing those turns at 180 miles an hour.
I've dreamed of doing ballet and free fall for a long time. And it's taken years to plan it in my own head, not to mention the amount of time that it's taken to construct it on the ground. We didn't realize what a drastic effect the weight difference between I and the cameraman would have. He falls like a brick with all of that equipment on his head.
Can you
fine.
stay with me?
As long as you're a little below me.
Yeah.
If I get below you, I'm starting to get my head back and I'm shooting up and I just fall away.
Yeah, okay.
So try to watch it from that angle.
Okay. You do a stable exit, I'll come at you in a dive. Now, I'm going to be coming at 180 miles an hour, huh? I'm going to pass over this shoulder, do a nice Krishna pose, then maybe I can come back this way and do Krishna's flute.